The life of Nelson Mandela, the man who changed history. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to tell you the incredible story of a man who proved that courage is stronger than fear, forgiveness is stronger than hatred, and hope is stronger than despair. His name was Nelson Mandela. His life was not easy. He spent 27 years in prison, yet when he finally walked free, he chose forgiveness over revenge. This is the inspiring story of one of the greatest leaders the world has ever known. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in a small village called Mvetso in South Africa. As a child, he loved listening to stories told by the village elders. These stories were about brave African leaders who fought for justice and protected their people. Those stories planted a dream in young Mandela's heart. He wanted to make a difference. His birth name was Rolihlahla Mandela, which can be translated as one who pulls the branch of a tree, or more informally, troublemaker. Later, when he started school, one of his teachers gave him the English name Nelson, a common practice during that time. Mandela grew up in a country divided by racial discrimination. Black South Africans were treated unfairly simply because of the color of their skin. They had fewer rights, fewer opportunities, and faced discrimination in many parts of daily life. As Mandela grew older, he began to understand how deeply unfair the system was. He believed every human being deserved equal rights and dignity. He studied law and became one of the first black lawyers in South Africa. His office helped many people who could not afford legal representation. But Mandela soon realized that helping individuals was not enough. The entire system needed to change. He joined the African National Congress, ANC, an organization working to end racial segregation and achieve equal rights. At first, Mandela believed in peaceful protests. He organized campaigns, encouraged people to stand together, and called for justice without violence. However, the government responded with arrests, violence, and strict laws. Many peaceful protesters were attacked. As the situation worsened, Mandela and other leaders believed stronger resistance was necessary. Because of his activism, the government declared him an enemy. He spent months living secretly, moving from place to avoid arrest. Eventually, in 1962, Mandela was arrested. After a long trial, he and several others were sentenced to life imprisonment. Many believed they would never see freedom again. Mandela was sent to Robben Island, a prison surrounded by the cold Atlantic Ocean. Life there was extremely difficult. The prisoners worked long hours breaking stones in a limestone quarry. The food was poor. The prison cells were tiny. Mandela slept on a thin mat on the floor. He was allowed very few visitors. Letters from his family were rare and heavily censored. Years passed. Then more years. Still, Mandela refused to lose hope. Instead of allowing prison to break his spirit, he used the time to strengthen his mind. He read books. He studied history, politics, and law. He exercised every day. He encouraged other prisoners to keep learning. The prison became known as the University of Robben Island because Mandela believed education was one of the strongest weapons for change. Many prison guards expected him to become bitter. Instead, he treated people with dignity and respect. Even those who treated him unfairly were met with calmness and patience. His character earned respect from prisoners and guards alike. Outside the prison, the world began calling for his release. People across different countries organized campaigns. His name became a symbol of freedom and justice. After 27 long years, change finally came. On February 11, 1990, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison. Millions of people watched this historic moment. He could have chosen anger. He could have demanded revenge. Instead, Mandela surprised the world. He said South Africa could only move forward through reconciliation, forgiveness, and unity. He encouraged people of every race to work together and build a better future. His message inspired millions. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic election in which citizens of all races could vote. Nelson Mandela became the country's first black president. It was one of the most important moments in South African history. As president, Mandela focused on healing a divided nation. He promoted education. He supported healthcare. He worked to reduce poverty. Most importantly, he encouraged people to forgive one another instead of continuing the cycle of hatred. One unforgettable example came during the 1995 Rugby World Cup. Rugby had long been associated with South Africa's white minority. Mandela chose to publicly support the national team, wearing their jersey during the final. His gesture became a powerful symbol of unity and helped bring people together across racial divides. After serving one presidential term, Mandela stepped down peacefully. He believed leadership also meant knowing when to let others lead. Even after leaving office, he continued working for peace, children's rights, education, and the fight against diseases such as HIV/AIDS. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013, but his influence remains alive around the world. His story teaches us lessons that never grow old. First, your circumstances do not define your future. Mandela spent nearly 3 decades behind bars, yet he never gave up on his purpose. Second, education is one of the greatest tools for changing your life. Mandela believed that learning could transform both individuals and nations. Third, forgiveness is not weakness. It is one of the greatest forms of strength. Finally, real leadership is not about power. It is about serving others with courage, integrity, and compassion. Whenever life becomes difficult, remember Nelson Mandela. If he could hold on to hope through 27 years in prison, we can face our own challenges with determination. His life reminds us that even one person, guided by courage and conviction, can help change the world. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves inspiring life stories. Until next time, remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the triumph over it. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.